Hello everyone. Today we're gonna do some deep cleaning of an aquarium. Obviously here in the gallery we can't really let the tanks go into a really bad shape to show you how to get rid of really sturdy stuff from the glass and so on. But we actually let it go a bit compared to what it used to get as to cleaning. So we're gonna go through cleaning the glass in and outlets, the filters. So this is not a regular maintenance video. This is about actual cleaning of your items around the aquarium. So welcome to the nasty world of aquascaping. Today I'm gonna actually do everything in one take. So, not on the video, it would be too long. But I'm gonna take apart everything. I'm gonna take out the CO2 diffuser, the skimmer, the filter in and outlets, and the filter itself and bring it with me. Clean everything and then put them back on. This is the Oasiscaper Line 60, which means I can do this in about an hour. The only time limiting factor is cleaning the filter. So from the time you stop your filtration to the time when you plug it in again, it should be no more than 2 hours. This is the time frame that your filter bacteria can easily survive without fresh water coming into the filter itself. So in a small tank like this, you can do everything at once, but at home, my recommendation would be to do everything except your filter, and when you are done, then do the filter cleaning. That would make much more sense in the question of timing. So yeah, let's do this. First of all, I'm gonna unplug the CO2 and the skimmer. So obviously they don't run when I take them out. For the filtration, it's very important that you first unplug the filter and then you close it. If you do it the other way around, obviously the impeller is still rotating, but it doesn't get any water, which can cause it to overheat. It's not an issue for a few seconds, but if you forget and you leave it like that for hours, that can really hurt your filter. So now that the filter is unplugged, I can rotate the lock on the hose adapter. Okay, so now that I took out the adapter, now I can actually pull out the filter and move it freely. Of course it's heavy because it's full of water and filter media. I need some water from the aquarium in the bucket. The reason for that is that the filter media in the filter, we can actually clean that in aquarium water. You never clean your filter media under tap water because chlorine kills all your bacteria just like that, and you've just ruined your whole aquarium. So we need some aquarium water in the bucket. I have a few things with me, a few tools that we would use for cleaning the tank itself. First of all, an algae scraper. So the idea behind this, you have the tool itself and then you have the blades for it. You put in the blade and you can basically just from top to bottom, you can clean off any excess algae. For the same reason or the same purpose, there's another type, which is the magnetic algae scraper. The idea behind this is you have two pieces. One goes in the tank on the glass, the other goes to the same spot from the outside. And then with the one on the outside, you can actually move the one on the inside, and that cleans the glass itself. Then we have different types of brushes. First one is a simple soft brush. It's really good for cleaning the corners of the aquarium. You should never clean the corners with the bladed algae scraper because you can actually damage the gluing of the tank. For that, this is perfect. And then we have some more sturdy brushes. One of them is like it's still kind of soft but much sturdier than the regular brush. and the other one is an actual metal brush. These are really good for cleaning off wood pieces. For example, I see some snail eggs on the wood. This gets it off in a second. The last one is a cleaning sponge. Again, it's really good for like dust algae on the side of the tank. You can just wipe it off with one move. So now we're gonna move to another place to do the actual cleaning of the filter where we have more space. So let's go. And welcome to what should be the bathroom. That's where I would do all this cleaning stuff. Obviously, now we're in the gallery. Don't do this in the middle of your living room at home, I would suggest. Here I have a container which is full of a cleaning liquid, which is Green Aqua Clean It dissolved in water. And this is what we use for cleaning the CO2 diffusers. I take off both the suction cups because they don't like this kind of solution. This is the only way to clean your diffuser, because if you would start to rub it by hand or with a sponge or anything, you would actually clog up the ceramic diffuser on top. That's why you need to put it into a solution that's designed for cleaning items like these, because they actually diffuse through the really small pores on the top surface of the diffuser, and they clean it out. So just put it in and leave it like that. Now the normal recommendation of dilution is 1 capful of the Clean It to 500 milliliters of water. It would clean the item in about half an hour to an hour. You can use less and leave the item in for overnight, or in our case, this is much denser. We've used much more of the Clean It inside, and that way we can leave the item in for about 10-15 minutes and it's gonna be clean. We're just gonna leave it like that until we clean everything else. The next thing is, well, I need some water for this, which I forgot. Now I actually have some water to work with. This is the inlet of the filter, and you can see it's quite ugly. First of all, I take out what I can by hand. But all these residues, for that you need a spring washer. So all the hose cleaners out there, they are designed for the actual filter hoses, and they have a much stronger spring. If you would use them on a glass, they would actually break it. But this one, it's really soft, it's really flimsy, which means it can easily turn around inside. So you just put it in, you start pushing it in while turning as well. Sometimes pull it back a bit. Don't force it. So whenever you feel it's a bit stuck, use really slow movements to get it out. What can be mistaken sometimes is that the actual dirt is not on the inside of the glass but on the outside. And for that, I like to use a regular kitchen cleaning sponge. It's perfect for just rubbing it from the outside. The only thing, there are some types that have actually some cleaning material in them, so like a liquid that's been put into the sponge. Don't use those types. Those type of cleaning agents are harmful for your aquarium, so just use the regular ones that don't have anything inside them. Let's go to the skimmer. Cleaning your skimmer should be much more regular than cleaning your filter and the in and outlets, because all these plant leftovers, they get off with just a second in water. So it's not a lot of work, but it makes miracles for the skimmer itself. It should be cleaned quite regularly. In here, in the gallery, we actually clean all the skimmers daily to prevent them clogging up with plants. Obviously this one has been let to get dirty, so I can actually show you in the video. The heart of the skimmer is this little piece of sponge which takes on most of the dirt. Put it on the water, push it, squeeze it a few times, and it's clean. That's it. Put it back in, then the top. That's it, cleaning your skimmer. We have our thermometer as well. Well, this is just, it gets a bit dirty on the outside sometimes. Just wipe it off, obviously not too difficult. And then we have our drop checker. Now this is much more tricky. Obviously you have to take out the reagent from it. It has to be completely empty. Sometimes you can get in the piece of sponge. This is the nano size, this is the smallest. It's kind of difficult to clean. You can also use the brush. Just don't force it too much. Just get it in where you can. And it goes into this point. And obviously, the more on the inside, there shouldn't be any algae or dirt, because in this part you have the reagent normally, and in this part you have air. And algae can only grow in the parts where you have water, so this should be enough to get it in this deep. Actually, there's a lot more dirt on the outside of it, so again, just the sponge is helping us out. The really important thing about the drop checker is before you refill it, it has to be completely dry on the inside. If you just leave it out from the tank for 1 day to let it properly dry before adding the new reagent, it's completely fine. So that's your best bet, just leave it outside for drying. Okay, so now what I have left is the actual filter hoses. For this, you use the regular brush. So this is what I talked about with the Spiro brushes. It's really different. This one is much weaker basically, and that's why you can clean the glass with it. If you would try to clean glassware with this one, you would definitely break it, but it's perfect for filter hoses. Okay, that's clean as well by now. If you clean glassware in this, you have to rinse it under some water really thoroughly, or best would be to push through any water treatment agent that takes off chlorine, so like Secam Prime, you push it through and then it's definitely safe to use again. As mentioned before, you would do all this ideally in your bathroom and not in a space like this. I'm gonna have to take the filter itself and just pour out all the water from it. So I'm gonna go do that, come back and we'll continue from there. So first of all, I'm gonna unlock and take out the pre-filter. You just push it on the two sides and then the bottom comes off. You can see it's not too nice. Just take off all the sponges. Actually, one of the sponges was in here. What I do is just take the sponges and I just squeeze them under water. It's a lot of junk coming out of it. You can see the difference. That's it. It doesn't need to be cleaner than this. This one is done. And you go through all of them. Sometimes you actually need to replace these sponges. They just can't be cleaned anymore. I would say that's when they get deformed. So when you squeeze them for cleaning and they just can't go back to the same shape that they were, that's the time to actually replace them with new ones. Put this one back together. You should remember how many of those were because you can't really see inside the bucket anymore. That's it for the pre-filter. After that, actually start taking the filter apart. Take off the head. Well, the items like these, the plastic stuff, you It doesn't really matter if it's clean or not, but obviously it's much nicer if it is. Now with the Biomaster, the regular cleaning you need to do is just the pre-filter that I've just done. So that's what you would do about once every month, every 2 months. It depends on your aquarium, but you don't have to do this type of cleaning too much. Now we go to the first bucket, which has the orange sponge in it. Just squeeze it under the water. Yep, and it's clean. That's it. And then immediately reinstall the sponge in it. In another type of filter, this orange sponge would be a fine filter mesh. Now the big difference is that the fine filter mesh you can't clean. You need to replace it every single time, as that's really important. Now, some Purigen and some Matrix, and this is where it gets really ugly. You just rinse these. Obviously, the Purigen needs to be regenerated sometimes. When you don't really see the white parts anymore, which obviously we can now, then it's time to do the regeneration. The browning on the Matrix is the actual filter bacteria, so that's what keeps your water clean, and that's why this never needs to be clean. What you do is just take it like this with the bucket and just rinse it. What we are doing here is cleaning out any debris that could have gotten stuck in between the pieces of Matrix. And now, even though that I've poured all of the water out of the filter, obviously some left in it because I didn't take out these before, and I'm gonna pour out what's left inside. With the Biomaster, all the buckets are the same, so the order is not really important, but in some filters it is. So what I always recommend is put it like this. This was the top one, this was the second from the top, third from the top, and the final one. This way I can make sure that I put them back in the same order. This is just a small trick. Otherwise, you can get them mixed up and then maybe a filter won't close back again. It's just easier this way. There is one thing left to do, and that's cleaning the impeller. It's always, you flip up the head of the filter. It's always accessible from the bottom with these closes. You just take it off, you clean, then you take out the impeller itself along with the shafts. The Biomaster has metallic shafts, so it doesn't break so easily. Other type of filters use ceramic shafts, so you have to be really gentle when pulling them out. And also these rubber ends, sometimes they get stuck inside the filter head or in this end. It's really important that you have them. If you lose these while cleaning, your impeller is gonna rotate like this while actually working, and that makes a lot of noise, and it's actually not too good for the filter itself. Put back everything to the same place it was, and that was it. This was cleaning the filter. Now we put everything back on. Let's reinstall everything to the aquarium. So, all this took about 1 hour. Now I'm going to start reinstalling everything into the tank. Okay, so tank is refilled, everything is plugged back in, everything is clean now. This is how you actually clean your tank. Add this knowledge to all the maintenance videos that you've seen from us, combine the two, and this is how you actually deep clean the tank and make it brand new once again. Thank you for joining me. As usual, if you have any more tips that I didn't mention, what you usually do, then please leave it in the comments below, and see you next time. Goodbye.